Thank you, Madam Speaker. Fellow Senators, I rise today not in support of just a bill, but in support of the well-being of all Californians. We have known for years that our state faces a crisis when it comes to housing. We represent the nearly 40 million residents of this state, by far the largest population in the country, but our housing supply simply cannot keep up with this demand. For decades, we have kept employing the same methods that have gotten us to where we are today. That is to say, not great ones. We expand suburban neighborhoods, add single-family homes on the fringes of our biggest cities, and build more roads and freeways to support them. But we've seen what happens. Hardworking Californians aren't able to find a home close to their job, and if they can, it's not one that they can afford. And the more we expand our cities physically, the longer our constituents have to commute to work every day, almost always by car, and usually alone. We've all seen the studies proving how longer commutes lead to negative health effects, and we're all aware that freeways and car infrastructure are one of the leading consumer-facing causes of global climate change. Senators, I rise today with a different idea about how we structure our cities. For far too long, we have relied on an old method of urbanism in which we find it necessary to separate job centers, homes, and transport. Yet all we need to do is combine these essential aspects of everyday life for Californians, and we will see a dramatic improvement in commute times, in new home construction, and in our constituents' overall happiness and well-being. Senators, my bill, SB-50, does just that. By allowing the construction of new homes adjacent to transit corridors, we can expand the scope of the California dream for every single Californian. If we facilitate the building of multifamily housing and apartment complexes near bus stops and train stations, we will be well on our way to start accomplishing the governor's mission to build 3.5 million new homes for this state's residents. And by opening job-rich areas to more home construction, we will ensure that Californians will not have to go far every morning to get to work, and that they'll be able to get home quickly and easily at the end of a long day. Now, I know some of you may have objections. What about local control, you might say? We should allow cities to decide what's best for them. And in general, I have to say, I agree with you. This bill is not an attempt to strip cities' power en masse. This bill is specifically targeted to increase housing supply where it is needed most. I support cities and counties having control over their land use policies, but not when they are hurting Californians. We've seen in the past what happens when cities are allowed full control over their land use and zoning policies. We've lived through a century of mortgage redlining, restrictive zoning, and racial covenants, all enabled either by the apathy or the active encouragement of local governments. Senators, I rise today to ask for your aye vote, not for me and not for the image of this body, but for the good of all Californians. It's true, I do support transit. I support building homes. I support decreasing our carbon footprint. But most of all, I support the 40 million Californians who brought us all here, and I want all of them to have the same opportunities that they have given us. Thank you.